So, hello guys, thank you for joining me again today on our podcast. Um, so we've been on a journey. We've been talking about forgiveness for a while now. We've been dealing with the matter of trauma. How do you forgive yourself and others from traumatic experiences? And we really dealt deeply on this subject matter. And with me has been Stanji, who's been a monk for over 20 years now, and also he's a serenity and a meditation coach. We've had to share so many insights, and we believe this is going to be a very long journey we're taking, where we go through meditation practices. So, Sanji, thank you for joining me again today as we give insight.
You're
Thank
most
you so
welcome,
much.
Simon, and everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, Faith, and everybody.
Sanji, we've been talking about forgiveness, and a lot of tremendous things have been happening, right? We get testimonials. People come back and say, you know what, I got this experience, I got that experience, and this happening. A lot of things are happening in our groups. But I want you to help us refresh our memories when we talk about forgiveness. What is the thing that we're really talking about?
Forgiveness. It's usually like a inner healing, inner growth, because we are always like we are going in the line of trauma and trauma recovery here, no? So we try to look into it, the topic, or in many ways, in a very humane and open way. So it always comes to like inner healing, and from that projecting it outwards. So it's really difficult to even forgive oneself, which the topic you have selected is a very sensitive topic today, which I'll let you like bring it up. So this has a big role to play here. And for the other places where we are talking about trauma and all, there's a big part related to self forgiveness as well as uh, towards outer reasons or situations or people, anything. Uh, but it always has to like from oneself, then it should be happening outwards, no?
That's incredible. And today we will be talking about sexual abuse, right? Because this is something that is really, really rampant in every society. Some sort of sexual abuse has happened, and most times the people who've been sexually abused they feel victimized, and because of the stereotype in the society, most times people are even afraid of speaking up and saying, you know what, I've been sexually abused because they're scared of the stereotype in the society. So let's talk a little bit about sexual abuse. Due to the stereotype in the society,
Sure.
a lot of people who've been sexually abused, they don't come up to say I've been sexually abused because they're scared of the stereotype the society brings to it, and they're scared of being body shamed or some sort of things. We've had scenarios where someone was sexually abused and fault was being thrown at them for saying, and people say things like, "Who knows? Maybe most especially when it has to do with the girls. Who knows if you were the one who seduced him?" Or they just keep saying things, and it's really provocative to talk about this, and it's quite sensitive. How do people speak up when they're sexually abused without being stereotyped, without being shamed of some sort?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive topic, Simon. In a way, it's good you bring up, because in many societies, many places, even the victims, they really don't want to talk about it. And when they go to the police or like even the court, the case and all, sometimes the uh, person who does this crime is not even caught. Or the other thing is like when they go to the courts also, they have to like tell it again. So they have to live with it like many times, no? Tell exactly what happened, all these things. So they kind of like relive it again and again. But yeah, it's such a sensitive topic, and actually it happens in many places from the history of our time. like this is used as a weapon even. And you see, like when you see the things that were happening in the second world war or other places, like this is one way of like destroying a whole community and leaving their scars for a very long time. So when you come to because this is something, this can happen to children, this can happen to adults, even sometimes like very elderly citizens, this had happened. So, and it's so difficult to talk about it. So yeah, like so this is actually like unwanted and forced kind of like sexual activities, no? So usually like to for bearing children, and in a way like intimacy is a very kind of like a very special thing. You don't do it in open and all, no, like, but this is like very extreme and gruesome. Even like we go, the humans, we go like to the extreme, even worse than the animal kingdom, no? So and it's worse for the victims especially. The culprits can get caught, they can be arrested, they can be in jail, and sometimes they won't even mind. They will be happy sometimes, oh, I did such and such a thing. But like the victims, they can be scarred for life, or sometimes they even want to end it all. So yeah, like there, I'm definitely sure. Like it's, I have met people who had gone through these kind of situations, but sometimes there were situations like it was somebody of the same family or a relative of them, and this had been happening for a long time when they were small. And this adult, now this person is adult and still cannot get over it. So the easiest way is like for like to somebody who's like can keep these details confidential. Now we have like counselors, psychologists or therapists and all. So because in a way they are supposed to keep it very confidential in a counseling session. Like we cannot give out the details. Uh, and some places we cannot even record the details. Uh, so likewise, like it's very difficult. But if you have somebody trusted, like if your parents are really close to you, that will be a great blessing, or somebody who can really you can rely, because everything is shattered at that moment, and they can go through like a lot of physical pain or physical trauma also actually. And then the worst is the mental trauma. So it affects in so many ways. So when you are talking like how should the person say about this, yeah, surely like they should report it to the police and do those things, but it's not easy. And the way the society will be seeing, even sometimes these kind of people are victimized by, again, oh, this was such and such a person, and then they try to like after some time lure them to another thing. It happens in society, right? So and the worst is like they cannot get on with their lives, and these keep haunting them. This can end up in PTSD even. uh, like it's so severe, anxiety, all these things. So
Exactly.
if we have somebody really close by who can be very trustworthy, but it's always to go to the officials and
Mm,
bring it up, and then like really bring the law in enforcing, because this is nothing, not a simple thing to
mm,
hide, no. Even if it's somebody really close,
mm,
but I think they should be exposed.
mm,
And the people who are
mm,
associating, like taking this case on, maybe the police or the health services, or they could be doctors, they should definitely keep their identity very confidential, uh, without exposing these
mm,
people who are the victims. uh. So even in some, luckily they don't show the faces of victims and all in even in videos, no. So that is a great thing, because
mm,
then yeah, some many things can happen. But yeah, people who are responsible, even the parents or anything like, but
mm,
surely the people who have done the crime should be like uh, known by the police and all these things and put into law. uh, but yeah, the most easiest way I think is to tell somebody this happened, maybe somebody who's really close by. But if it's a bigger, if it's a little person, the parents or somebody can go to the police or the authorities. and the child can tell
mm,
who's like really close
mm,
by, or if it's an adult, they also can inform the police and all. And surely nowadays they have, if they have good uh, like a structure or like a good, some good people around, they can say that. uh, and or they should like, they
mm,
can go to the counselors and these people like that, and they can slowly, and but it's not an easy thing. It's a very difficult thing, because they have to relive those moments every time. I don't know for what reason people are doing such uh, bad crimes, but it's used as a weapon also. uh, and there were even in Second World War. I don't want to point fingers in modern days. I'm just telling. So each party would do these kind of, these factions would do, because the whole society will be scarred for years on. And the worst thing that happened in especially Second World War, either side, I'm telling, these people are condemned by their own societies also, as people who
exactly.
volunteered
Yeah.
to do such things. No, they were victimized, they were abused. They
Mm,
didn't do it on. There were some people
mm,
like that, but after even the war ended, these people are pushed away from society, telling that they are not suitable to be, or even worse things were said upon them. That is even more worse.
mm,
So there have been many, many
mm,
things like that.
mm.
So it's not very easy, Simon.
Mm.
But the
Wow.
people who
It,
have
it is.
done
Yeah.
these crimes definitely should be exposed. There's no, even if it's their
Exactly.
parents or grandparents, they should be exposed for doing that.
Exactly. I believe one of these days we'll have maybe someone who's had sexual abuse experience come on the show and then just share their experience. I really look forward to having someone who could come up
Mhm.
to share,
Sure,
and
sure.
we could give room to people to share their experiences, right?
Mhm.
Sanjay, one of the major questions that I want to ask is not part of the question I should be asking today, but I really want to ask is, we are seeing that there is an increase in the sexual abuse in our society today.
Mhm.
And right now, obviously, you can connect with anybody, right? But still, sexual abuse is increasing. Pedophilia is still increasing. We have more pedophiles in the society, and
Mhm.
a lot of things are happening. What do you think we can do to manage or curtail this situation? Because it's really alarming right now. The rate at which people are being sexually abused, sometimes even in marriages, even in their homes,
Mhm.
spouses sexually, and it's just out of context for me sometimes. What can we do to manage this?
Yeah, yeah. I also meet some people like, what you say is so true, Simon. They were in a marriage, and one
Hmm,
the lady was like sexually assaulted by her own husband. So,
hmm,
but it's in a marriage, yeah. So there was a lot of
hmm,
procedures done, and luckily that country they have like things to help people. So then they took
hmm,
legal procedures, but the recovery process was much, much more longer. So she was kept in
hmm,
another place and for recovery and a lot of things, but it was very brutal, and a lot of abuse was done, and virtually
hmm,
assaulted. So and so, but this is like in a marriage, because no, so think the outside things. So many things are associated. It could be drugs, it could be alcoholism, huh? It could be pornography. uh, so, or like things like social background or layers like that. So many things like we call
hmm,
outside problems are associated with this also. Social media, all these
hmm,
things like the stimulants, and not showing like proper things like to respect a person as they are,
hmm,
and to have proper,
hmm,
because you see all these things in the society and all, like you can have this, you can do this, and even the movies, right? they show violence and
mm,
these kind of things. So a child watching this, what will they think, right? And think like something like drug
mm,
addiction or something is more involved in that process. My goodness, their thinking and everything would go so wayward, no? And if they find the opportunity, because
mm,
those kind of like the lust or the desire is there, right? But we as human beings, we are supposed to be ethical, uh, and there's a pattern, no, even to be done. uh, but now, like, we slowly like broke those barriers. Before, there were people who actually waited till they got married, and if somebody was like messing around everywhere, it was considered very bad. But later it became like so normalized, so then it's turning to become more and more worse, right? Yeah. So then the extreme side comes. Slowly you'll release those boundaries, which like from difficult, sorry, different religions or like uh, even ethnicities, they have their own moral ethics, right? But slowly what happened was like these things, they say, oh, these are like old stuff, or we cannot do this now, uh, like that. But what happens was like we can see like we are acting more worse than even animals. Animals, at least they have a time period, right, of mating season. But humans now, they don't have that even, no? And because of there are so many problems that happens, because even the child is who's born, you cannot blame the child later on. Their mental capacity and everything
mm,
changes, and physical also.
mm,
It says those days some parents, they just got together just to make a child specifically, not always. So then the child physically and mentally, they were very strong. And even I don't know whether you guys will believe, but it is specifically said, uh, when this is happening, there are in ancient literature and all there, it's called like a procession, like a parade. You are inviting a
mm,
nice being to that mother's womb. So you, there's like a process that happens. It's like a parade or a procession. And you set the proper frequency. So later, these children are wonderful. But some parents, you see, like, oh, I don't know, like, my child, I did so much, and they're just partying, partying. But when you connect the dots, there was, I'll tell you instance, like, this is a bit off the track, but I'll tell you what happens. So there was a father who used to come and tell us, like, my child, my son is stealing. He's very arrogant, aggressive, all these things. Then I just asked, like, when you connect the dots, when he was conceived by his mother, or how he said, I was also drinking at that time, I was very young at that time, this is the eldest son. Even daughters, this can happen. So I just said, like, okay, like, you see the connection, you all are good now. Now they are in their 50s and all, and they were, and but those days he said, like, I was a young man, I used to drink and party and all. So those kind of beings come, or like beings come to that mother's womb also. So later, after 20, 30 years, you cannot complain. There's a big connection like that. What you invite is what you get, or the frequencies. Like, you tune into some useless channel and all, then you get like all the nonsense, right? If you get tune your radio or anything uh, to a proper channel which is wholesome, you get a proper sequence, right? So likewise, there are so talking about this, like, oh my goodness, this is so disruptive even for that child. Uh, so there are so many aspects like we have to cover, and definitely if we can educate children, there are also like training programs even in like places like Thailand and all. But this irony is like they promote like red light districts and all, right? And some countries, they make it like a tourist profession, or like something like for tourist attraction. But there are organizations in those countries also, like, who are teaching little children, like, even if somebody comes, like, even they show like diagrams and all. If they touch you in even a part that is like, uh, just go walk away. or don't get caught. They are teaching them even, because children are very vulnerable, no? So it's not just adults. So it can be child abuse or harassment or like no assault to any kind of age. So these kind of like, and if we can bring the former ethics and morals and these kind of things, it will be in a religious aspect or any way possible. If we can do like even programs like this, Simon, it's very good, because this is a big thing. And I think the things outside that are showing, surely like I saw like the behind stories of pornography, these actors and actresses, it's nothing like what they are trying to propagate. They are having plenty of STDs, and it's sometimes very brutal and violent. And my goodness, it's just an act. And for that pleasures and all they are showing, they have to sometimes take substances, and they act. It's just act like when a bunch of people are watching it seems. And some are very brutal in that, and they have to do scene after scene, and usually they end up with things like PTSD themselves. Not only that, many in that trade, some become suicidal, and as well as in many of them, like this person said, like 99 or 90%, they become like with STDs. Uh, so sexually transmitted diseases, no? So it is not the nice thing they show. So people who are watching this, they get addicted, and they think this is the thing, right? So they might get hyped up, and they might take something and just like to become, and they don't know like this is something more valuable. This is something, no, not like doing some crazy act, no, which those people are just showing, which is act by themselves. Huh? So a normal person would see this, and then they would think like this is the normality. So there are so many
mm,
places that we have to cover, and surely like drug
mm,
addictions, alcoholism, so many things, even
mm,
poverty and lot of things can affect. Even to
mm.
control the mind, jealousy.
So, mm, wow. So what we'll do is in our subsequent programs we'll have to dive into addiction after we're done with this. Let's talk a little bit about this addiction because it's becoming a bit of a nuisance in the society, and ignoring it is not fixing it. Assuming it's not there, it's not actually fixing it. Social media addiction. Even I sometimes I get caught up in that social media space. I have to start reminding myself. So there's a lot of addiction we'll have to deal with. So for someone who has been sexually abused, the big question now is how do I forgive someone who sexually abused me but has not yet acknowledged it or have not yet apologized for it? How do I forgive such person? How do I forgive in such scenario?
Mhm. Yeah, surely they will need external support first, Simon. That's a big thing, because yeah, so they will need people to support, because they are at such a like a collapse physically, mentally, no, everything. So they are, if they can find the help, that will be a great thing. But there are some places like they cannot, or they are put into a situation like slavery, right? So so they cannot go, or they are caught up in that. So think of that situation, no, they have nobody to tell even. So but yeah, like if other people can help them, like say that uh, uh, if they can support them, and if they can listen to their experience, or surely try to bring it out from them, uh, and then like even believe them, build them trust again. Uh, so I'll come to what you asked. So I'm not telling it's a easy process. It sometimes can take years on to for the forgiveness to happen.
Mm,
It can take years on.
mm,
Some people seek it through maybe revenge wise, like after the legal things and
mm,
everything happens, they try to seek, but it's like, but you cannot blame them also, right? Because they had gone through a lot of the,
mm,
maybe their whole life was destroyed, no? Maybe it was a young
mm,
person who like everything was planning to get married and everything shattered. Or everything can get
mm,
destroyed just by some few, a small time duration, within a few time duration, no? So
mm,
if we can reassure them and encourage them to get professional help, even legal aid, therapy, medical attention, and whatever the choices they are taking now, if we can help them, if they want to have some, no, like some quiet time, or be free separated in a way, like a safe way from society itself. Huh? So then
mm,
in the healing process, we can use things like therapy, counseling, group support, and we'll come to like meditation also. So but
mm,
yeah, like meditations, journaling,
mm,
therapies, they can be used. I'm just focusing on like coming to the point of forgiveness, eh? And not only that, like things like
mm,
setting boundaries, these also can be done. So uh,
mm,
yeah, but it's not a easy thing or simple thing. Even with normality,
mm,
like if we, it's difficult to set our minds, no, fix our minds. How difficult it
mm,
must be to like
mm,
in a crisis situation like this, right?
mm,
So yeah, like yeah, things like yoga, yeah, breathing exercises, these also can help.
mm,
And slowly, like from
mm,
themselves also, if they can do like affirmations to say like I'm strong, I deserve healing, these kind of things are
mm,
also very, some people just bounce back and they go like really strong, and then
mm,
there are people, survivors, who are like even
mm,
helping other people, no? But some people, they take a
mm,
very long time after this,
mm,
and they can read books that are associated of like victims and the
mm,
survivors who want these things, no? So
mm,
coming back to yeah, even things like prayers, reflections, even energy healing.
mm,
So
mm,
uh, yeah, you will have, there's a lot of forgiveness part first, like within themselves. Some people are guilty, you know, why
mm,
did I go there? Why, what did I do? Or what did I do
mm,
wrong? No? So if they can forgive themselves
mm,
first, uh, then it will be a big task later to forgive the even the person who did these kind of things. Uh, but
mm.
for things like children, you
Amazing.
never know, no? Like how can you explain this to them? No, sometimes they would not even know what to do, even, right?
Yeah,
Some, I saw
amazing.
like some instances like
Amazing.
the children didn't know what happened to them even. It's so sad. Like they just said such and such, did something, and I felt lot of pain, or I started bleeding.
Mm,
So come on, right? Uh, then they don't even know what happened. So it's very sad, no? Like
mm,
these are like little flowers, and they don't even know what sex and all is even. How
yeah.
horrible is that, right?
Mm, wow.
So for the building up of that,
I,
it goes a long way. Yeah?
wow. I love the fact that you emphasize so much on the process because it takes time. It takes time to truly attain, the, to truly get to the place of forgiveness because
Mm,
sometimes it hurts um, mentally, it hurts emotionally, it hurts physically. Sometimes you have scars on your body to remind you of this,
mhm,
right? So even when you say, you know what, I've forgiven it, I've forgotten about it, and one day you just see the scar or something tricks the scar
mhm,
or somebody asks you about the scar, you're reminded again, and you have to start a process. But understanding that healing is a process is the fact that it shouldn't hurt 2 years later as it hurt a year ago.
mhm. Yeah,
That's really incredible.
sure. And this can happen to males and females both, even, no?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Can I forgive without making peace? Can I forgive someone without making peace with them?
Yeah, you will have to definitely make peace with yourself first, and then you can
Mm,
project that peace, which is a very, very difficult thing in this case. Just think, like, even for now,
mm,
how difficult with nothing happening like this, and without any trauma, even
mm,
how difficult it is to like have make peace with ourselves, right? Huh? We
mm,
have to think like human beings and see the human side of it. We cannot just say, hey,
mm,
forget about this. No, how can a person even think or
mm,
to say like that, right? Huh? So
mm,
you know, it's not, nobody can say, like, there are some places, my goodness, like there were some things like documentaries and all done or research done. There are some villages, and this whole village is like a place like they for like sex working, right? So then the children
mm,
are born there, and they are also put into that in a low, very young age. Yeah. So it seems like it's like a endless, like a pit, right? And maybe the next generation is just for that. So yeah, um, if somebody can come out of that situation, or like even a normal situation, if this suddenly happen, then they will have to make peace, Simon, with themselves first through prayers, meditation, counseling, all the resources possible, therapies, and all these things. And then, if they can forgive this person through that peaceful mind, that would be great, and it will be a great victory for them also. But it won't be very easy at all.
mm. It won't be very easy
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. Hmm. Brings us to last question for today. If I choose to forgive, knowing that I have to make peace with myself and stuff, but if I choose to forgive, does that mean that I have to totally forget or act as though what happened never happened?
No, no, no. Usually, like, we won't forget. We can forgive, but
Mm,
we won't forget, because that memory is there, right?
mm,
Suddenly you forgive and everything won't be deleted, right? So even like
mm,
you see the saints and all, they talk, and they also went through like lot of hardships, no? That's why they selected that path and
mm,
became saints. So they actually forgave the perpetrators who did any bad thing to them. Huh? So even Jesus, right? After all that torture and everything, he forgave, right? Huh? But how to say? Uh, yeah, we'll get to that faith. So, so yeah, uh, if somebody can do that, Simon, that person will be one of the greatest person walking on the earth. uh, and then they would have already found peace, because, and if somebody can really say that, like, I forgive you, they can do it in fact, if they believe in God and all these things also. They can say, because those these things are said, like, even your worst enemy, to forgive them. Huh? But so if they can even intentionally try to do that, that will be a healing process or reaching peace. You made that process even faster. But if you real heartedly, if they can do, you can do it like mechanically also, right? Huh? And you can like bring it up again and again, overpowering that negative effect, no? Which is, that is also great. And if somebody can really from the heart say, like, I forgive you, huh? So, but that doesn't mean like they will forget even the saints and all who were enlightened. Even they could remember all the history, no? And there are some places like they have told, like what happened to them, the abuse that happened. But now they are like enlightened beings. So they have surely forgave all those, but they don't forget the incidents. But there's no harsh thing or anger or hatred associated no more, because they brought their mind to that level, no? Otherwise they won't be saints even, right?
Now, I love the fact that you were very honest to say you can forgive, but it might not be very easy to forget. Because, but I want to ask, I want to forget. I want to assume it never happened because I feel when I assume it never happened, maybe it will help me because there's a catastrophe inside of my mind. How do I achieve or how do I get to the place of where it never really happened? Because I think it's more peaceful there.
Uh-huh. But how can you escape the reality, Simon? Huh? Reality, it already happened, no? It's better to come through that reality. I'm just telling, huh?
Mm,
I'm not trying to put you down or anything. It's good we talk these things openly, no? And I wish these other guys also would talk with us, no? And so yeah, like how can uh we cannot just like people take drugs or like alcohol or things like just trying to forget it, no? But it pops up again, right? So it's not like a process we can delete all the data and say nothing happened, because it did happen, right? And it's all stored within our memory. We can say the brain or any place, but actually some places the whole body itself is like the energy can store so much data, so much data. So if a memory chip 128 or 512, it can store a tiny chip, right? Uh, Maybe so many chips we can keep along our body. Yeah, this is small piece, right? Huh? So it has like 128 GB. These are GB, gigabytes, right? 512 GB now, even more, no? So how about the body, It also has its imprint. That's why like karma and things follow. So it's sad to say that these things also we cannot just say this is your karma. You have to take over it. Uh, but these things there's a karmic connection also. So uh, they also follow up Simon, and then that affects that person also. So it's not like a process you can delete it. You can imagine this didn't happen, and it can help, no, but it is not it really happened, right? So but if you can come out of through the reality of things, this happened, okay, maybe my bad karma or something, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe some people go a party, in some countries and all, even young girls and all, they get drunk, and then some perpetrator comes, or no, like, and then pedophile or somebody comes and then snatches them, right? So they are even lucky to be alive sometimes, because these criminals, they abuse them as well as in their lives, some like escape, or they were, so in a way. But there are reasons also, right? They go to nightclubs and end up like in early morning, and they come drunk, and then this some weirdo comes and like snatches them. There are people like ready to, like, predators, like trying to really catch them, get them, no? You see like many cases, some people even hired some buildings near clubs, not only for females, even for males, come on, right? And they act like a friend and see, like, because when they see drunk and all, and some are like very dangerous people, and some narrowly escaped even from death, but they were abused even. So these, if we can come out of that situation or the thing that happened, just like any other situation, right? It already happened. Now the trauma is there, so we have to come out of the trauma actually, right? Or the scars of it, or the mental imprint of it, which is the negative part. So and if you can do that just without trying to forget it, Because sometimes taking drugs or alcohol might let you forget for a moment, but it will put you in more deep trouble. That's why people go for these addictions, no? Thinking they might forget their problems or something happen like this, just to forget it. You see, like when like the sex workers and all, they usually like they switch to drug addictions just to forget the torture and all these things they are going through or the bitterness of it, no? So yeah, if we can come in a healthy way out of it rather than forgetting it, because always that memories will be there, but some people gather their strength and start up their new lives, no? Even the victims, they get married, but it's even that it is said like even if they find one of the best people, it's very difficult to lead a normal life, but still some people are able to do that because say they're getting intimate or something and they remind there are flashbacks, right? There are nightmares. It doesn't end like that. It's a horrible thing to happen or even to think of, rather than just I don't know how even people are thinking of doing these things to another human being, no?
So what I have here from what you said is accept the reality. It happened. It truly happened, right? Accept it. It happened. But then deal with it. So every day, accept it happened, deal with it, move on. Come back again when you start feeling it. It happened, deal with it, and then move on. Lastly, let's just move into the main practice of today. So there's a question by someone in the chat, and it says, "Are there meditative practices that can help the healing process?" And I want to say this: we are not just going to be teaching about the meditation practices. We are going to be practicing it for for some time now. It's important, Sanjay. People do not understand the power of meditation.
Mhm.
It's really important. I want to accept I was hurt, pained me, it hurts me, it goes with me every day. Trauma doesn't stop where it happened, it continues as much as you allow it to continue. And one of the ways we can heal from it is by accepting that it happened. That's the reality. Not accepting it is actually living in denial. It happened and it's fine. But every day that I realize it happened, I'm going to deal with it and I'm going to be a better version of myself. And then I'm going to affirm to myself, whatever happened is not me. It only happened to me. I am better today than I am yesterday. I forgive myself. I forgive whosoever hurt me, even if I caused it, maybe by being in the wrong place at the wrong time, going to a club, drinking and stuff like that. It happens. Negative things happen to good people too. It also happened to anybody, right? Anybody can fall a victim of anything. So it happened. Accept it. That's the reality. Forgive yourself. Now we're jumping into the practices. What are some meditative practices we can take to start, to either kickstart the healing process, sustain the healing process, or complete the healing process?
Okay, so
Over to you, Sandy.
okay, then we'll do some practical things. Okay, yeah. So then you'll get an idea. We'll really practice them, and then so these are for forgivens, which is like in the far end. We get gather it and do. So there are grounding meditations, there are breathwork meditations, even the thing like we call loving kindness. It's a great thing because then you build self love, and then slowly you can reflect on outside and even forgive somebody else who even did the worst for you. But it will take some time, and more powerful we are, more stronger we are, we can do it more easily. That's why some great people, even the worst torture and everything, they could just say, I forgive you. Yeah. So these people, you can think how powerful their minds were, no? And how loving kindness. and everything was present there. So we also can, if we have that capacity, we can do that, and we are able to do that also. But sometimes this can be overwhelming. What happened? So it can be covered up by that, but still we have that capacity. That's why anybody can build it up to that stage. Huh? So grounding meditations, loving kindness, and breathwork meditation, body scans, even like visualizations. We'll go through this. Like I'll try to guide you with these steps, and I'll show like small practices, glimpses of practices. So then you can. So I'll try to make it more trauma related. But anybody can work with it in any direction. Okay. So, if you all want to, you can stretch your hands, or if you want stand up and sit down, if you want, have a sip of water. Not even a sip, even some more water. If you want, come on, right? And then we'll try to sit. I'll also sit in my meditation place, and so sit comfortably. That's the main thing. So the best thing is like we don't know how to relax. That's the thing with what's going with us. Yeah, so we have to now learn to relax. We say we are relaxing, you can sit on a beach and all these things even if you want. Or we might try to
mm,
sleep and say we are relaxing, but we don't know now. It's like
mm,
something unknown to us or foreign to us. But our minds have that thing. So like water, no, like you can boil the water, do anything, evaporate it, but it when it gathers again, it cools down because its natural state is like that. Even if you make it super cool, the ice also burns, right? There's called something called frostbite. Uh, so then even the coldest part burns, but later when it melts, it's come to a natural state where it's very normal or comfortable. So even those elements outside, which we also created, comes to this natural state. Whatever you try to do with it, you can boil it, you can stir it, you can mix all the stuff and try to stir it up, but it goes like sediment and the clear water appears again. Our minds are also like that. Okay, so just sit down comfortably. There are different ways of sitting also, but it's okay. And just per day, if you can just do like 5 minutes of each, that will be wonderful. And without knowing, like droplets of water, uh, slowly, without knowing even, it will gather. This is like droplets of water, and it's like we are collecting water onto our palms, and then we slowly fill up a bucket or a basin, and with that we fill up like a pond or a tank. And without knowing even, these are just external examples only, yeah, but it's much more faster than that. So let yourself, if you want, move your body slightly to align, and then we'll directly go for some practices. So see whether your body is grounded very well. See whether your body is grounded very well. If you can, let your feet or the soles of your feet touch the surface, or even if you're sitting in a cross-legged posture, feel the upper parts of your foot touching that surface, or even the air touching the soles of your feet, and maybe the knees and the thighs and the middle part of the leg, the calf muscle, the shin area touching that surface. If you're seated on a chair, feel your legs and especially the soles of your foot and keep them in a proper flattened way, in a stable way. Okay? So the idea is to like feel the grounding. So there are chakra meditations, these kind of things also. Yeah? So the first chakra is actually Mooladhara chakra. So it's actually associated with our spinal cord and like in the last part of it. So this helps like to ground ourselves. That's a different topic itself, but for just when we feel more grounded. So sometimes sitting on the earth or outside on grass, that is so grounding. And then slowly try to sit in a comfortable position and take slow deep breaths. Take slow deep breaths. Slow but deep. You can even feel the rise and fall of the abdomen if you want, the belly. And then feel like your feet are touching the earth itself, as if slowly from your body, as if roots are growing deep down into the earth and making you stable and anchoring yourself. And you can say, I am safe in this moment. I am grounded. I am strong. Just feel of it. I am safe. I am grounded. I am strong. These are affirmations. But see, that's why we are particularly focusing on the lower part of the body, especially the feet and the legs. Feel the grounding. And then let's relax with the body scan. And if it's somebody in trauma or especially a more difficult situation, it's to get the feel of the body because they might hate it or they can have even problems of thinking about it. So, since we were talking about the soles of the foot, while you're there, slowly focus on your toes. Now you feel grounded, you are safe, you are secure, you are strong. Bring your awareness to your toes. And do you feel any kind of sensation or tensions? Just feel it. If possible, just release it and let it sink into the ground or let Mother Earth absorb it as she does every time. And slowly move up your body, the legs. Just see what kind of sensations are there. You can let go of these, but feel it. And then the hips, the stomach, the chest. What kind of sensations do you feel? Do you feel tension? Can you let it go? And slowly to the chest, the arms, the head, any kind of sensation, doesn't matter. Usually we go from head to feet, but here we are going from the grounded place upwards. So it actually brings like some very positive energy also all along the body. Our bodies are very powerful conductive as well as receptive, even like transmitters. They are so connected though we don't know. And see whether you can soothe it out, sending signals of warmth and relaxation, letting you settle down more and more to the moment. Now, slowly go to the nostril area, but do it very gently. This is a breath work for coming out of traumatic situations or release. Just let the breath come into the body like within 4 seconds. One, two, three, four. And let the breath be within you for like 4 seconds. One, two, three, four. And then slowly release from the mouth, or if you are comfortable with the nostrils, even up to six. One, two, three, four. I'll do the counting for you. You don't have to worry about that. So, breathing in from the nostrils. One, two, three, four. Keep it in. One, two, three, four. Breathing out from the mouth. One, two, three, four, five, six. Possible seven and eight. You can squeeze the abdomen and let it go. A person does this for some time, there's a big change in their mentality. But here we try to soothe things up. So we are using that very subtle method, but people can do in a very stronger way also. Thinking things like walking meditation, these kind of things also help. Now let's slowly focus on our loving kindness meditation. We are letting our mind settle down and down. So these are all focused towards self forgiveness as well as forgiving something that's happening outside. If we can build up that within, surely we can project it outwards. Because sometimes we can say the words, but we really cannot mean it. Or is it 100%? Sometimes people say sorry, no? But it's not 100%, or sometimes they don't mean it even. So slowly take to your heart region, and it is to replace like self blame, or if it was a different difficult situation, it was like shame, these kind of hard things, with self compassion. And people can use more than the regular ones also, things like may I be safe. Feel your presence in the heart region. May I be free from this suffering. May I be filled with love and healing. May I be safe. May I be free from this suffering. May I be filled with love and healing. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. May I be filled with love and healing. For now, you don't have to remember all these things. And if possible, you can use add the visualization also. Think like within this heart and outside even. Yes, you're protected by a warm, refreshing light. It's very comfortable. And with this beautiful light, you can even wish the other people who are suffering, even the survivors. May they also be safe. May they be free from suffering. May they be filled with love and healing. It's a beautiful thing. And you can use a thing you like even. For example, this light, connect it with God, this light, and know that this protective light or you is your guardian force. It's helping you to claim your power, your confidence, your strength, and control of life. And just know this God is within you and everywhere. Could be your guardian angel, even, according to any belief, good belief you have. Energy, karma, anything you believe. But these all are good. And know you are protected, you are safe, you are secure. Maybe there was something that happened because of past karma, but now you came out of it. Now we are in a safe place, and now it's time to heal and recover. Definitely forgive yourself because it was not you. And if somebody is going through trauma, they can use affirmations here even. They can use affirmations for healing. You can say, I am not my trauma. Or you don't have to use my even. I am not the trauma. I can separate myself. I am whole. I am worthy. I am healing. And just know, like all the good energies, guardian angels, God, is always there to help. but we have to be wholesome. So with all these things together, let us meditate by ourselves for a short moment. Any of these practices. So we did like five of these specific practices. These all can lead to forgiveness. So let us practice for a little while by ourselves and do it in a very relaxed way. Maybe for 10 minutes, we'll do it. And each of these moments are very precious. It's like those droplets of water gathering. Don't worry, nothing is wasted. Each droplet makes that handful of water. That handful of water fills the vessels and it fills up the bigger reservoirs. And it's not just a single life journey. We have been doing this for a very long time. So we are not just starting today. Okay, so let's relax and practice. Please be free to practice anything you like. Be in the most comfortable position you want. If your mind wanders, let it wander. Doesn't matter. Just see whether you can let relaxation happen. But don't force yourself to do anything. It's a natural process. We are just helping it. Wonderful. Now slowly bring your attention to your heart region and just think, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be safe, may all beings heal, may all beings live their life. And slowly, our eyes are considered like the windows of our soul or our home. So slowly bring these wonderful ideas, the practices, the healing process, as if you're bringing, opening up the windows of your home and projecting it out to the day and even your life and the journey, and slowly open your eyes. If you need, you can slowly move your fingers, the toes, slowly adjust back again. Okay.
That was very powerful.
Yeah, so we did like 5 meditations. So
Uh,
I'll try to present this video soon as possible, Simon. With the collection of other videos, we did one more before, right? And
yeah,
then, if,
thank you.
yeah, if a person wants, they can quickly see this. No, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, Sanjay.
Oh, you're most
Thank you
welcome.
guys for staying with us. Yeah, this was really powerful.
And please
And
try for like
next
a
week,
little bit per day. It really helps. We don't
mm,
even know, like it slowly, like droplets of water, it collects. It's really, we don't even know. Like it's not like big things we do at work, at home. That's good.
space that I almost slept on.
Uh, that is
I,
actually a benefit,
I
they
think,
say, of meditation. And you can sleep well, you can wake up well,
mm-hmm,
refreshed, and you don't see no
mm-hmm,
more nightmares. It's actually a benefit.
mm-hmm,
Come on, no? Like she asked that right
mm-hmm,
now, she's like sleeping too.
mm-hmm,
Oh, you almost slept, right? Okay, okay. So yeah, I'll try to put this
uh,
like even tomorrow, if possible, out the video, and
mm-hmm,
then
mm-hmm,
anybody can refer it. No,
mm-hmm.
Simon. Then you all also, if you like, you can
Exactly.
share
I
this.
will. But thank you so much,
Oh,
Sanjay.
you're welcome.
I think I'm getting the hang of it now. When we
Uh-huh.
started, sometimes I would almost, I'm always at that point where I'm almost sleeping off. But right now, I'm getting more used to it and I'm enjoying the full benefit of it. Thank you, Sanjay.
Yeah, it's actually it's not difficult.
Will be.
What we do in day-to-day basis, much
Mm,
much more like thousand times difficult. Uh, we are like, so this is like a relaxation process. It's actually we are winding down. So it's like if we in a one split second, if we did like thousand things we do, this is just like one how to say, one part of that thousand. Really, like it's that's why we feel more relaxed, and it's uncomplicated and simple and very practical. So you can connect with any direction, any place, healing, trauma, recovery, connection
mm,
with God, any way you want, you can use.
mm, mm. This is really amazing and incredible. It's a wonderful experience. Very soon we'll have a ton load of people on this to enjoy the benefits of
Uh,
it. Thank you, Sanjay.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you
Simon, for
guys for
organizing this.
watching us.
It's wonderful to be here with you all. Eh?
Thank you. Thank you. Next
Thank you.
week we'll keep it up again. We'll still hang in here to give value and help people transform their life for the better.
Mm.
Thank you guys.
Okay, then
Thank
have a good
you.
night and a good rest. And if possible, if not
All right.
possible, like please try it. No, it it really
Mm,
helps. Then you can share with other people also.
sure. So thank you guys. Thank you. That'll be it for
Okay, then
today.
see
That'll
you
be it for
soon
today.
again. Eh?
All right. All right. Thank you, Faith. Bye bye.